Diversification to me means using the plentiful resources we have here, and so far we've been, selling them in a raw form. We got to quit doing that. We got to sell them in a form that's converted to something else. It's very difficult to transport the things that we have in plentiful amounts here. It's difficult to get them to other places. And you can see that when we try and get new pipelines approved. You can see it when we try and put things on the railway. We have trouble with them. So we have to send the most valuable things we can through the existing transportation system. We have to do something proactively about CO2. And we can use CO2 in Alberta for enhanced oil recovery. We've done a little tiny bit of it. There's a small project that's been running down by Joffrey for about 20 years, but we can do it on a colossal scale here. And when we do that, we reduce the CO2 content of everything we make, and we turn CO2 from a disposal problem into a feedstock. And so we've got to do that. That's the second part of what we have to do. And the third thing we have to do is we have to convert our raw materials into finished products so they can go anywhere. And we have to do that in a way where we can make money doing it. Converting bitumen into diesel fuel. We're doing it in a way where we capture the CO2 in the refining process. And the diesel fuel we make can be exported through the existing infrastructure to any retail outlet. It doesn't have to go to another refinery. We can't make any money extracting bitumen. If you look at the financial statements of the big bitumen producers, they're not looking very good. There aren't going to be new resource extraction projects unless we can capture the margin of conversion. We have to make it into something else. If we do what we're doing here, we end up being about 7% better in terms of our embedded CO2 content than the competition is. So those three factors, transportation, value, and CO2 content, are what enables this project, and we think it's a good time for doing it. Carbon capture essentially is taking CO2 and treating it like a feedstock. We've got a place to put it, and the oil that comes out of the ground more than pays the costs of getting that CO2 into it, and the CO2 stays behind. I don't think that the world thinks that carbon isn't a problem because of the American election. I think most of the people in the world still believe in global warming and still believe that CO2 is a major determinant about what the quality of our future is, and I don't think it's going to go away.